It was October 1994, and the heart of Colombia, Bogotá, beat to a rhythm of uncertainty. The streets were alive with the usual hustle and bustle, but an undercurrent of tension was palpable. Unbeknownst to its citizens, a storm brewed. Not one of rain and wind, but of audacious ambition and cold, calculated greed. Dark clouds loomed over the city, mirroring the brewing storm of human intent. A plan years in the making was about to unfold. Whispers filled shadowy rooms, blueprints were scrutinized, and old calendar pages marked the passage of time. A plan so daring, so audacious, that it would forever etch its mark in the annals of criminal history. This was not just a heist. It was a meticulously crafted masterpiece of criminal ingenuity. This was no ordinary robbery. This was to be the greatest heist the world had ever seen. The kind of heist that would be talked about for generations, a legend in the making. The Banco de la República, Colombia's central bank, stood as a symbol of power and wealth. Its grand columns and imposing facade were a testament to its significance. Within its fortified vaults lay a king's ransom, a treasure trove of Colombian pesos. The vaults were designed to be impenetrable, a fortress of financial security, millions upon millions ripe for the taking. The sheer volume of cash was staggering, enough to make anyone's head spin, and a group of seemingly ordinary individuals were about to attempt the unthinkable. The stakes were astronomical. Each member of the group brought a unique skill set to the table, and together they formed a formidable team. Failure meant certain imprisonment, perhaps even death. The risks were immense, and the consequences of failure were dire. Yet, the allure of unimaginable riches, the thrill of the impossible, proved too strong to resist. The dream of wealth beyond their wildest imaginations drove them forward. A tangled web of informants, masterminds, and skilled operatives prepared to make history. Each thread in the web represented a crucial piece of the puzzle, and together they were ready to pull off the heist of a lifetime. The operation was a tapestry woven in secrecy, a masterful blend of cunning and precision. For months, the group, a motley crew of seasoned criminals and technical experts, had meticulously studied the bank's blueprints, leaving no stone unturned. Every camera angle, every security protocol, every possible weakness was analyzed, dissected, and exploited to its fullest potential. They moved like phantoms, their actions cloaked in shadows and deceit, always one step ahead of the law. Their leader, a shadowy figure known only as El Profesor, the professor, was a master strategist, a genius in the art of deception. He possessed an uncanny ability to anticipate every move, every countermeasure, as if he could see the future unfolding before him. His team, bound by loyalty and driven by the promise of unimaginable wealth, followed his every command with unwavering precision, trusting in his vision. The plan was audacious in its simplicity, yet brilliant in its execution. Infiltrate the bank's vault, crack the codes, and vanish with the loot, leaving no trace behind. But the devil, as they say, was in the details, and every detail had to be perfect. The vault, a fortress of steel and concrete, was guarded by an army of armed men and a sophisticated network of alarms, making it nearly impenetrable. The team rehearsed their roles tirelessly, each member knowing their part down to the smallest gesture. Time was their greatest enemy, and every second counted in this high-stakes game of cat and mouse. As the day of the heist approached, tension mounted, but so did their resolve. They were ready to step out of the shadows and into the light, to claim what they believed was rightfully theirs. The night of the heist arrived, cloaked in an eerie silence. The moon hung high, casting a ghostly glow over the city. The city slept, oblivious to the drama about to unfold. Streets were deserted, and the only sound was the distant hum of traffic. Inside the bank, a team of technicians, disguised as maintenance workers, worked feverishly. They moved with purpose, each action meticulously planned. Their target, the bank's security system. They knew that one mistake could spell disaster. Hours ticked by, each second stretching into an eternity. The clock seemed to mock their efforts. Tension crackled in the air, thick enough to cut with a knife. Every glance exchanged was loaded with unspoken fears. Finally, a nod. The system was compromised. Relief washed over them, But the night was far from over. The vault lay exposed, ripe for the picking. It was a sight that promised untold riches. A team of expert safecrackers, their fingers nimble and swift, descended upon the vault's heavy door. They worked in perfect harmony, each movement precise. The air hummed with the whine of drills and the scrape of metal against metal. The sound was both a promise and a threat. Time was their enemy. Every minute increased the risk of discovery. They knew they had to be quick yet careful, but luck, it seemed, was on their side. Their plan was unfolding without a hitch. The vault door swung open, revealing a treasure trove beyond their wildest dreams. Gold, cash and jewels sparkled in the dim light, a reward for their daring. Each member of El Profesor's crew was a master of their craft, chosen for their unique skills and unwavering nerve. There was La Hacker, a digital phantom who could dance through firewalls like a ghost. Her fingers, a blur of motion across the keyboard, were their key to bypassing the bank's sophisticated security systems. Then there was El Musculo, the muscle, a towering giant of a man, his imposing physique a testament to his brute strength. He was the enforcer, the one who ensured their plan went off without a hitch. His loyalty to El Profesor was absolute, his resolve unshakable. And then there was La Bella, the beauty, a master manipulator, her beauty a weapon as potent as any firearm. She could charm information out of the most tight-lipped guard, her every word, every glance, a calculated seduction. As dawn approached, the robbers worked with a frantic energy, their sacks overflowing with Colombian pesos. The weight of their loot, both literal and metaphorical, pressed down on them. Greed, a seductive mistress, whispered in their ears, urging them to take more, to push their luck to the limit. El Profesor, ever the pragmatist, knew they were treading a dangerous line. Every extra minute increased their risk of discovery. He ordered his team to retreat, to melt back into the city's labyrinthine streets, their pockets lined with fortunes. But fate, it seemed, had other plans. As the sun peeked over the horizon, bathing Bogotá in its golden light, the unthinkable happened. A silent alarm, triggered during their infiltration, had alerted the authorities. The bank was surrounded. Sirens wailed, shattering the morning calm. Panic threatened to consume the robbers. They were trapped, their escape route cut off. The weight of their crime, the sheer audacity of their heist, crashed down upon them. El Profesor, his face a mask of icy calm, rallied his team. They had come too far, sacrificed too much, to be denied their prize. A desperate plan began to form in his mind, a gamble that would determine their fate. Section 7. A city's heart bleeding. The news of the bank heist spread like wildfire through Bogotá. The city, once a symbol of resilience and hope, was in shock. The audacity of the crime, the sheer amount of money stolen, was staggering. The Banco de la República, once a symbol of stability, now represented the nation's vulnerability. The Colombian government, embarrassed and enraged, vowed to bring the perpetrators to justice. No expense would be spared, no stone left unturned. The hunt was on. Section 8. Whispers of the cartel. Rumors swirled through the city's underbelly. Whispers of the infamous Cali cartel's involvement in the heist. The cartel, a shadowy organization with tentacles reaching into every facet of Colombian society, had the power, the resources, to pull off such an audacious operation. The authorities, desperate for a lead, pursued this angle with relentless zeal, but the cartel, masters of deception and brutality, left no trace, their involvement, if any, shrouded in mystery. Section 9. Legends never die. Despite a nationwide manhunt, El Profesor and his team vanished without a trace, leaving authorities baffled. The money, a king's ransom, was never recovered, adding to the mystery. Some whispered that they had escaped to a life of luxury on a remote island, their ill-gotten gains funding their every whim and desire. Others believed that they had met a more sinister fate, victims of the cartel's ruthless code of silence and retribution. The truth, like the stolen millions, remained elusive and shrouded in mystery. Section 10. The Ghost of a Fortune. The Banco de la República heist became a legend, a cautionary tale whispered in hushed tones. It served as a stark reminder of the fragility of security, the allure of greed, and the audacity of those who dared to challenge the established order. To this day, the heist continues to fascinate and intrigue. The ghost of that stolen fortune still haunts the corridors of the Banco de la República, a silent testament to the day Colombia held its breath and a group of daring criminals pulled off the impossible.